still don't know what I was waiting for, and my time was running wild, a million dead-end streets, and every time I thought I'd got it made, it seemed the taste was not so sweet. So I turned myself to face me, but I've never caught a glimpse of how the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Hey Queens! I wrote notes, so listen up, cause we're going back to school. A few weeks ago, we hit the 1-year anniversary of the United States COVID-19 lockdown. For many people, I think that this was a really tough milestone to come to, because in a lot of ways, it's like, wow, a whole year of our lives wasted for what? Like, for what? I think it has brought up a lot of those feelings for a lot of people, and I noticed it in the world of like, people are not feeling good right now. They're like, what have we been doing since March of 2020? Like, there's no way that it is actually currently April of 2021. Like, 2021 hasn't started yet, because we are still living in 2020 perpetually until everything goes back to normal. Back to normal being my new favorite sentence, because what does that even mean anymore? I thought it might be important or interesting or something to reflect personally on this past year, because last March I was a senior in college, and funny enough, that was my midterms week going into spring break, and I was vlogging my midterms experience. So I have my like live reactions to the news of the pandemic. First of all, classes being canceled. I filmed my last day ever in school in person without even knowing it at the time. I ran out of toilet paper in that vlog. It really brings you back. I remember being like, wait, I need a mask to go into the store. Like, where do I even get one? Like, that being such a weird thing that I'd never heard of before, to now I don't even notice that I have it on. Having this video to look back on is very interesting, because so much of life has changed. Like, even the knowledge of coronavirus existing to now, like, wearing a mask everywhere I go. I literally live in a different state now. Like, I live in Texas. I do not think that would be a thing had COVID not happened. Actually, I pretty much for a fact know it wouldn't have been a thing, but then so much of my life is the same. Like, my day-to-day life is essentially the exact same. Now that I have received my vaccine number 1, and in the next 6 to 10 weeks, I will essentially be allowed to be a normal person again. Obviously, slowly but surely, everyone will get this vaccination, and hopefully so will the rest of the world, and we'll all be better. Like, who actually knows? I don't want to come on here and say everything will be fine, because I did in fact do that last March, and I was wrong. This was not a 2-week thing. Obviously, me from the past. But I was trying really hard. I was trying so hard this time last year to have a good attitude about it, because I am so easily like a doomsday, or not only is this bad, but this is the worst thing to ever happen, and I am going to spiral out of control. So I, last March, was trying so hard to be like, come on guys, it'll all be fine. It's gonna be great. But fingers fucking crossed. Soon enough, we'll all be back to normal, and the phrase, when COVID is over, will become, now that COVID is over. Most of us will forget the like uncertainty and misery that was March of 2020 through to now. the economy will return to normal, college classes will resume in person, the job market will be returned to its original state, bars will be open again. You'll never have to question if you can eat inside in a restaurant ever again. And the coronavirus will just be something that slips away into our memories of things we try not to bring up because it was upsetting. It'll be like middle school is what I kind of think of it as. It's like, I don't like to talk about it. It was a time in my life that we don't discuss. What will we have learned from all of this? Have we taken away any valuable information? Or are we simply going to just repeat not only like our own personal bad decisions, but as a country or as a global ecosystem, are we just gonna keep doing stupid stuff? I really can't speak for what as a nation and as the world, how we're gonna fix that. Like I'm not in charge for a reason. Because I don't know how to fix that. I can't lie to you, I don't. I do know it needs to be fixed because this is not sustainable, but I don't know how. But personally, because I can talk about that. I can comfortably talk about this, me right here. I don't know how to convince the government that healthcare is a human right. Conversation for a different day. I think that the first thing that I've personally learned after a year of COVID is that it's okay to press pause. I think we very much live in a go, go, go culture. And last March, I was a graduating senior doing 3 senior final projects, doing an internship, spending hours and hours a day applying to jobs because I was absolutely convinced that if I graduated unemployed, I would be the biggest loser to ever exist and a failure for the rest of my life. Hey, me from a year ago, guess what? You still don't know what's going on, and that's okay. We're gonna figure it out eventually, but turns out like you're still really young, and just because you're 22 doesn't mean that you're gonna drop dead and die soon. So calm down. That week of spring break, I actually had 5 or 6 job interviews lined up, and I was just gonna take whatever job that offered me the most money so that I could pay off these student loans as fast as possible. And I really think I would have just ended up making myself miserable and putting myself in a corner. So this might have actually ended up helping me in a weird way. It isn't healthy to be on the verge of a stress breakdown every single day of your life. Like, it's okay to not know what the future holds and to just let that be a thing. I think it's different at like 35. Like, if it's 10 years from now and I still don't have it figured out, like, wake up, sis. Like, it's time to get to work. But you know, me from a year ago, you're basically a child. You don't know anything. It's okay. Calm down. You don't need to be so stressed out all the time just because other people around you look like they have their lives together. They're getting C's on tests and you're getting A's without studying. So like, you have skills. Don't know how you're gonna use them still. I still don't know how I'm gonna use them, but I do have them. I just haven't figured it out yet. And that's okay. No pressure. No one is putting you under this pressure but you. Because my dad wasn't like, what are you gonna do with your life? And my teachers weren't really like, what are you gonna do with your life? And Jack and Jack's mom, and like everyone that I've ever talked to that is an adult was like, you'll figure it out. It's okay. And I didn't trust them, and I should have, because I'm still figuring out, and it is okay. But because like I knew 3 people who had jobs when they were graduated, which they all ended up losing them because of COVID, which like, sorry everyone, that sucks. It doesn't matter what other people are doing, obviously. I still ended up in the same place regardless of whether or not they had jobs. The second thing that it's important to recognize that I have spent a lot of time thinking about a year into this is that nothing is permanent. Truly everything is temporary, and it can just be taken away at any time. Like, you will think like, oh, I already know what the next 2 months of my life is gonna look like. You don't. You really don't, and maybe don't spend so much time getting attached to that idea, because who knows? Because I very much thought that the rest of my senior year of college, I was going to be partying my ass off. I thought I would be crutching across the stage at graduation because I was gonna be that person who spent the night before graduation out at the bars breaking my ankle from jumping off of something in end low, broken ankle, crutching across the stage. That's what I saw for myself. And instead, I sat inside my apartment for like 2 months straight and got a 4.0 and got kind of sad. So you never know. You never know what life's gonna throw at you. I maybe drank like 3 or 4 times the whole quarantine because I didn't want to be one of those people that came out of quarantine with a drinking problem. I don't even want to know what the stats are on that, but I know it's a thing. Everything is temporary. So enjoy it while you have it. Like if you're having a good day, live in that shit. Like don't start thinking about tomorrow and the next day and all the other shit you have to do. Like just enjoy it. And if you're having a bad day, try to turn it around because it's a waste of time, straight up, unless something actually terrible is happening, to be just having a bad day just because. It's fucking stupid. I think something else that you notice a year into COVID is who really matters. There are so many people that I saw every day in class, like on that last day of school, I was like, see you guys never again. Bye. I immediately noticed like how much I missed that social interaction once I wasn't around people every day, and then, you know, going into 4 different retail jobs that I've had since graduating, how important it is to have like good people around you and good natured people around you, because through all of this I know who has stuck by me, that I miss every day or every time something cool happens and I want to be able to hang out with them and I can't really go visit each other, and it really makes you realize these are the things that I care about and these are the people I care about and the ways I want to spend my time and hard-earned money. My final point that I forgot to mention, and this is advice I should take myself right now, is that every other time that I've been worried or stressed out about my life, where it's going, what am I gonna do, it's all worked out. It's not gonna be any different this time. It'll work out again, whether it takes 15 months like this pandemic has, or if it takes 2 days, it'll all work out. It'll all work out. Come on, you can do it. It's so hard to know what's gonna happen, which I think is part of like what I already said. But if all goes well, fingers fucking crossed, we all like learn and grow from this and it's like just a thing of the past. That's my hope for us. Don't make me regret this video, world, please. Please. I can't do this again. I'm not a doctor, but if you're eligible, go get your vaccine. It's so worth it. Like the peace of mind I already feel knowing I am halfway vaccinated. Sick. Take care of yourself and the people that you love, and that's all you can do. All will be right in the world. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.